Good morning. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, November the 3rd, 2021. And this is Dr. Mary Seegers with Wisdom Wednesday. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, November the 3rd, 2021. And this is Dr. Mary Seegers with Wisdom Wednesday. Little technical difficulties, but we got it all straightened out now. Again, good morning. Good morning. This is Dr. Mary Seegers with Wisdom Wednesday, my video podcast. And today is November the 3rd, 2021. And I just realized that November is the month of National Adoption Month. You know, they got all different things coined for different months, but I'm excited about that because I learned a lot. And my guest today was going to share her story, her quest to find her biological parents, and just the experience of being an adoptee and her heart to help others who are adopted. So let's officially welcome, a warm welcome to my guest, author June Purifoy.
Purifoy.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Good. How are you?
Great. It
Good.
was such a great honor. Her and I, about 3 weeks or so ago, we were at the same Detroit book fair and we met one another, and it's just like instant attraction. Of course, we're both authors, so that was a common theme. But I liked her story. So let me just tell you a little bit more about this phenomenal woman. June is a people-oriented and enthusiastic woman committed to human services. In 2018, she retired from the Capuchin Soup Kitchen Service Center, a ministry within the Providence of St. Joseph of the Capuchin Order. She has been blessed to have opportunity to provide resources and emotional support, which is so important, to others working with other nonprofit organizations as well. June is presently in the process of starting her own organization as an adoption advocate, helping adoptees in their search of family. She is volunteering her time now with the foster care and adoption program for the Bethany Christian Services, Orchard Family Services, and Michigan Department of Human Services. Please support her, and she'll talk more about this in purchasing her book, The Question Inside of Me, An Adopted Daughter's Quest for Connection. Wow. Thank you so much, June, for agreeing to be a guest. So when did this National Adoption Month was established? Do you know that? Or
No, I don't know that. I have to do some more research on that. I just heard about, through different organizations and different people that November was always considered the National Adoption Month.
Yeah, and it's appropriate because it's Thanksgiving. We have a heart of giving, and so it's just a time to share with loved ones. Yes,
that's true.
So can you share with the audience this morning, June, when did you know you were adopted, at what age? So give us a little story about that, your backdrop story about that, if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, sure. My adoptive parents, I had wonderful adoptive parents. I loved them, and I believe they really loved me too. And they adopted me. My adopted mother always said about, I guess I'm maybe about 10 or 20 days old. I was the only time that I was in foster care, was only those couple of days, but they adopted me when I was a baby. And she started telling me about me being adopted when I was like 3 or 4. They would use the illustration of teddy bears. She would take the teddy bears and say, and she would always read the stories, to me about Goldilocks and the 3 bears and all that, but she had brought these teddy bears, and she would use these teddy bears as illustration, telling me about how this little special teddy bear was adopted, that they wanted to find a home for this special teddy bear. Of course, at that age, I didn't really, think about adoption or anything, but periodically, as I was growing up and things, she would always tell me the story about, me being adopted and using these teddy bears. So when I got in my adolescent years and she started telling me about life, about coming into womanhood, about, young ladies getting ready to start on their cycles and different things like that,
Yeah.
she was still always, telling me in a way, in an appropriate way for appropriate age, how I was adopted. So, still I didn't think nothing of it. I had the security there, I had the comfort, I had the support, I had the love in
Mm.
the home. So I didn't think nothing of it until I started getting maybe about 14 or 15. That's when I really started thinking about it, especially after she started telling me about life,
Mm.
how babies are born and how babies come into this world. I
Yeah.
started thinking in, I said, okay, well, if she couldn't have any children and she adopted me, then somebody else had me. Different things start coming to my mind. And I was the only child too, and I was always around people that had large families, and
Yeah.
I always used to say, why am I the only child, but she said, because I asked her, I would ask her, I said, why didn't you adopt any more children? She said, we wanted to, but we never did get around to it.
Mm.
So as time went on, when like I said, was my adolescent year, I asked her, I said, can I go to the place where I was adopted from, maybe, and talk to a social worker or something? Will they tell me more about the, woman that birthed me? She said, sure. She was all my both my parents. They were always willing to help me and sit down and answer questions. They never did say, "Well, we'll get back to that later. I'll talk to you about that later." Don't ask that question. They never did that. Whatever I would ask, they would try to answer. So I
Wow.
appreciate that. Yes. So, like I said, I could go on and on, but like I said, it's all in my book.
Right, right.
Listen, it's all in this book, the question inside of me.
Oh, wow. That's powerful. That's powerful.
So, yeah.
So let me ask you this too, June.
Mhm.
Your adopted parents, did you resemble them in some, sometimes they would try to get children that look similar to.
Yeah, well, they said, oh, you look like your mom a little. You got little features or sometimes characteristics like your father, but like they said, association brings on assimilation.
That's true.
The more
That's
you
true.
associate with people, the more you pick up their characteristics and things. So
Yeah.
I did have some things, that was like them, and I appreciate that, so
It seemed like it was really genuine love, both
it
ways,
was.
and that's so important for a child.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So,
But like I said, as I start getting older,
mhm,
that question start rising up in me,
yeah.
And then when I start, associating with a lot of other children, I
Mhm.
said, wonder could they be my brother or sister?
Wow.
Wonder could that be
Mm.
anybody kin to me?
Right.
So my first little boyfriend I asked him, I said, do you know anybody in your family that's been adopted or have adopted children?
That's a
And
different
I don't
question. I know.
right. But then like I said, as I got older and got married
Yeah.
and had my children, then
Mhm.
of course that question was still there.
I know.
You know,
Yes.
that missing piece, as they call it. That's what Willie Moore Jr. I don't know if you ever listened to him
Yeah.
on the radio. Yeah,
I love
but
him. Yes.
he said, yeah, I
Praise.
think
Yes.
that's his name of his little movie that he did
Yeah.
about his adoption was called The Missing Piece. So
Mm.
it's always that missing piece. It's always that question there.
Yeah.
And one of the things adoptees really want to know, why was I given up?
Mhm. Yes.
You know, why was I given over to strangers sometimes?
Right. Yeah.
That's how I say. Why was I given up?
So sometimes people that are adopted, they give them up because maybe their parents weren't able to take care of them, things like that, and it's
Right,
about
right,
the child is usually about, their life that they were going through at the time. And they might have been very young and that kind of a thing. So, but we
right.
take it personal though, right?
Yeah, yeah, right, right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much because I want them to get your book. Tell me,
right.
how can people reach you and get your book too, though, June?
Of course, you can go on Amazon.com
Hmm.
and get it, or either you can email me at junepurifoy@comcast.net
Okay.
and, get the book. But, and also for people that are local here
Mhm.
in Detroit, it's, sold at God's World, Barnes and Noble, and I think it's called BAMS. I don't know if they have opened up yet, but I think they have.
Okay.
Books a Million. Yeah,
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's a great
yeah,
place for books. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
great. So you got a
yeah.
lot of networks that you can reach out and get your book.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
So tell
right.
us a little more about you being more of a adoption advocate. What was that? How is that involving?
Because we really want to support,
Mhm.
the adoptees. It's always, like I said, I believe in each one of them is a little something in them
Mhm.
that, once, why was I giving up? You know, um, who are my biological parents and stuff like that. So I just want to be able to help them because I know um, what it feels like. I know the missing piece, the missing piece to the puzzle.
Mhm.
And sometimes you go through some hurt. You
Yes.
do go
Yeah.
through some hurt. And always good if we have support of one another. So really, when somebody really has been through something, that's the best experience and teacher to talk with them about. Because I've been through this. Let me tell you, what you can go through and how you can come out. So,
Yes. And
yeah,
that's what I like about that. You've been there, you've done that, and now you want
right.
to help to others, and that's a
Yeah,
blessing. That really is, June. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Wow.
yes, yes.
So, let me ask you this, if you don't mind. Did
Mhm.
you ever find your biological
So
parent?
when I found them, yeah, like I said, back then in
Mhm.
1988, when I found them, we didn't have the ancestry.com or the 23 Me or,
That's
the things
right.
that they have now. Right, right.
That's true.
So I had to get I would get the yellow pages or the white pages, and I got bits and pieces of information
Mhm.
from the Children Aid Society from a social worker that I did talk to, but
Yeah.
back then it was closed adoption,
Right.
so they
Mhm.
would only give you bits and pieces of information.
Right.
So what bits and pieces they give me, I would keep it, and write it down or keep it all together.
Yeah.
And then one day, my adoptive mother brought out some papers and
Mhm.
she showed me what my birth name was.
Okay.
So I had my birth name, last name to go by, okay, so I'm looking for this family with this last name,
Yeah.
and so like I said, when I would go to the Children Aid Society, because I went twice. I
Mhm.
went, like I said, when I was around the age of about 13 or 14, I think I went. And then again, I went after I had my family, had
Okay.
got married.
Right.
And still, like I said, they gave me maybe a little bit more as I got, a little bit more information.
Right.
So anyway, I would take that information and I would just start searching, and start looking in the white pages and in yellow pages. Then I heard about the school
Mhm.
that they went to here in Detroit, and one day I went to the school, trying to find information and
Yeah.
didn't come up with too much, just um, a little, just a tidbit more, this, a tidbit more.
Right.
So, but I would always keep it all together. And then one day, a young lady that I was going to church with, she
Mhm.
came up to me and she said, I heard you're looking for your biological family, And
Mhm.
I said, yes. And she told me she worked at this high school that my mother had went to, my birth mother went to. And she said, I said, well, let me give you what little information I have and see what you could come up with.
Yeah.
And so she said, okay, I'll do that for you.
Good.
So she did. She looked it up and everything. And 2 or 3 weeks later, she called me. She
Ah,
said, I think I got something.
wow.
So, but you got to get the book to.
Got to get the book. Let's leave it right there so they can read it and just know what you went through and the steps that you went through. I love that
Yes,
determination, that quest,
yes.
it was like a full-time job. Would you say?
It was. Yes, it was. It was, it's
Yeah.
something that really kept me busy.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, it was something, but I just thank God,
Yes. Yeah.
nobody but him that helped me.
I know we have a mutual dear friend, Gail Perry Mason. She was adopted, and I've heard her story before. And there's so many other people out there that they're looking for their identity too. It's
Right. That's right. That's right.
their
Right.
roots.
That's right. That's right. When they came out with Roots, and
Yeah.
when who am I?
Mhm.
Especially when what is that? Rick Warren came out with the Purpose Driven Life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then you
Mhm.
wonder. You say, okay,
Mhm.
what is my purpose?
Yeah.
Why am I here on Earth? Who
Right.
am I? And
Yeah.
that just goes for everybody. Usually asks that question.
That's so true.
But especially for adoptees. Who am I? Where did that come from? So,
Wow.
and it was a journey.
I
Yes,
know it was.
yeah. But
I
and
was.
then after I found,
Mhm.
my mother and father,
Yeah.
it didn't work out like I thought. You know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But at least you got the answer.
At least I got the
Mhm.
answer. And
Yeah,
then I always say to myself, I said, at least I know who she is,
exactly.
where she lives. And
Mhm.
I do have a phone number in case anything, if I want to call and ask her more questions, I
Yeah,
believe she would answer them. But
abs
as far as having any kind of relationship or friendship or no, there's nothing like that.
I know, but you got great friends, you got family,
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
and God, of course, is your main source.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that helps.
yes, yes.
That's
Yeah. And then I reconnected with my father and his family maybe about 5 years ago.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Something happened where I knew his last name because I did get a chance when I found him to
Mhm.
meet him too. And
Good.
it was just meet him and his wife.
Right.
And, I knew his last name, where he lived and everything.
Okay.
So, but like I said, it's a special connection that we had that brought us back together to
Yeah.
reconnect. So,
And
yeah.
even as we get older, medical challenges and so
Yes,
we want to know
yes,
the family history, right?
right,
So,
right,
we need to at least have that connection for that purpose.
right. Because that's one of the things the doctor still asks when
I
I go to the
sure.
doctor now.
Mhm.
Or sometimes, if you go to a new, what is your family? Is
Mhm.
diabetes in your family? What does your mother, father, does anybody? And
Mhm.
I sometimes have to, I'm adopted. I don't know.
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
But as I got, like I said, how older, that's one of the quests too that I wanted to answer to.
Yeah.
So I finally got a couple of things to go by. So
Yeah. That's powerful. That's powerful. I know you're going to do well in your business because your heart and your passion about this.
yes, yes,
Many people out there that want that as well. So that's
yes,
awesome. Awesome.
yes.
Let me ask you this real quick, and then we're going to go because I know your time. I thank you for your time for allowing us to talk
Sure.
to you. What I've seen in the past, maybe, several years ago, where a lot of the Caucasian families are adopting little Black children.
Yes.
Have you seen a lot of that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. At the Bethany Christian Services
Okay.
where I've been volunteering, I see quite a bit of that. And I just wonder how that's going to work. But some of them have had good results. Some of the children now are, are grown and come back, to tell how they appreciate. Because I know even one of the basketball stars,
Mhm.
I can he was Rodman, I think his
Oh,
name was.
right, Dennis Rodman,
Yeah,
yes,
and you can tell he had some issues
yes, he did.
as he was coming up,
Yes,
but
yes.
some Caucasian
Mhm.
people raised him, you
Yeah,
know.
yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's gonna be something there, you
Mhm.
know, but with all the support groups and people, and sometimes I say if people really get into their churches, sometimes the churches will offer good support for this person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Emotional support and spiritual support, which is needed,
Yes, 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 yes.
And I know my some of my family members have started with doing the foster care.
Okay.
And initially they started, I think, for the money, not that it's, but they
Yeah.
fell in love with those children and their
Yes.
family. And they even adopted them. So,
Okay,
yeah, I
good.
felt so, and they're just like family, it's like, wow,
Yes.
because those children want love, and when you give them love, they just return it back in full.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah,
I think that's what all of us are really in search of is
yeah,
love.
absolutely,
So
absolutely,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Well, June, it's been great. Again, show your book so people can know the name of your book and how they can get that book. And
Okay. It's called The Question Inside of Me, An Adopted Daughter's Quest for Connection. Okay. And
June, spell your last name as well.
okay, my last name is spelled Purifoy, Purifoy. And you can get that of course, at Amazon.com. Or like I said, if you're here in the Detroit area, you can get it at God's World or the bookstores.
Awesome. I know that book's gonna really ignite people who've been in that situation to that question, that quest to know who they really are.
Yes.
Yeah, and you've illustrated it out and you've lived it and you're helping others to find their quest.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you, and God bless you and your endeavors. And I know you're just gonna be great things gonna happen in 2022.
All right. I received that. Yes.
Yes, yes. And I do want to mention, isn't your first lady did your foreword for your book?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
mention
She
that.
was the one really that encouraged me to write.
Yes.
Because I had to go to her for a situation, and I had a problem, and I said I got to talk to First Lady, and when I went to talk to her, she, was encouraging me, and then I had to go back to her and then tell her what happened, and
Yeah.
she said, "You better write that story, write that
Wow.
book,"
See,
and so yeah, she
tell
was.
who that is if you don't mind. You want to share who that is?
But yeah, First Lady Chrisette Ellis from Greater Grace Temple Church here in Detroit, Michigan. Yes,
Beautiful woman of God.
yes, yes.
Same as you. Yeah. Again, June, I appreciate you taking time. I had a great conversation. So remember, November is National Adoption Month. And
Yes,
so hug a person and let them know that they are loved.
that's right.
All right. Thanks again for all your information, and see you next time. I want to see how that your organization's doing in a couple of months. I know it's going to be great.
Yes. All right, Dr.
All right.
Mary. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a blessed day now.
All right, you
Okay.
too.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
So remember, for the rest of the month of November, I decided to go ahead and talk about the real estate market we have now. So I'll be having some real estate professionals, and so they'll be able to see what's going on in the market now. So if you're looking to buy a home in the next couple of months, stay tuned next week when I'll have some professionals sharing the experience that you can encounter when you're looking for a new home. Okay, we'll see you then. Bye for now. Be blessed.